Smith coming to you from beautiful HEB Park right here on ESPN Plus. And Brian, who are our players to watch tonight?
With the visitors, the Colorado Springs Switchbacks, and look no further, their dynamic forward, Romario Williams, tied for 8th USL in goals with 6. That's the team high for Colorado Springs. He's been nothing short of dynamic on the year. 2 assists, 9 shots on target, 12 chances created. He is that spark plug for a Switchbacks team that's really starting to find their footing offensively to try to climb up the rankings here in Group West. The other side for the Toros of Rio Grande Valley, it's an attacking midfielder, Taylor Davila. Davila, second on the team with 2 goals, but he's added 2 assists. He leads the team in tackles won, 28 chances created, and his long passing efficiency, 73%. This is the Toros team that's really started to find some offense over the last 2 games. And with a defensive-minded frame that they're bringing into this one, Davila could be that breakthrough in the middle to keep that offense rumbling.
Yeah, both teams have been lighting it up in the net with the last couple of games. We'll see if that carries over to tonight. We're going to introduce the starting lineups in just a moment. Right now, we'll take a break, and you're watching USL Championship Soccer on ESPN Plus.
At HEB, we're inspired by Mexico. The colors, the flavors, and aromas. And we want to share them with you. So we created the HEB Mi Tienda family of products with authentic Mexican flavors. From savory marinated meats, frijoles and queso, to tamales, soft drinks, and more. HEB Mi Tienda brings you the traditional flavors you love. One more reason here, everything's better. At HEB, we're inspired by Mexico. The colors.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow.
Creating more jobs.
And more opportunities for all of us.
Working together.
Together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
When it comes to our familia, we all have our own flavor and expression. At Tequila de Corralejo, we believe sharing our individuality is what makes gathering together so fun. Here's to those who stand tall and share their passion.
Espinos Tires on FAR 83 has been serving the Valley for over 30 years. We offer a wide assortment of tires, wheels, and auto parts. Let us build your dream vehicle with only $49 down. No credit required.
Did you know when you bank with Lone Star National Bank, you're investing in your community? By creating jobs that stimulate our local economy, creating success that we share with our community. In fact, Lone Star National Bank donates more money and more volunteers to more causes than all other area banks combined. We do what the little banks can't, and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
Just moments away from kickoff here at HEB Park. Time now for our starting lineups, Brian.
Starters will look a little like this, starting with Colorado Springs. No big surprises here. Christian Herrera will get the start in goal. Captain for this one is the defender, Matt Mahoney. Colorado Springs finds themselves in the 3-4-3, very balanced in the midfield as they have to keep that attack built for the Switchbacks. On the other side, for the Toros of Rio Grande Valley, Tyler Derrick will be back in goal for the Toros after seeing Christian Brancio in goal the last couple of games for Rio Grande Valley. They're going to be in the 6-3-1. Very defensively minded are the Toros in this one. Their captain, the defender, Eric Pimentel. Lone forward for Rio Grande Valley is going to be Christian Pinzon, making just his 2nd appearance of the season for Rio Grande Valley. You know who the teams on the field are. Let's take a look at their keys to this matchup. For Rio Grande Valley, it's got to be about having those tight passing lanes and finding ways to finish in a clinical manner. When we say clinical, they have got to cut this defense for Colorado Springs apart. Toros have had plenty of scoring opportunities all year, but they're starting to find ways to finish those. Can they continue to do that here at home and get perhaps their first win from HEB Park on the 2023 campaign? On the other side, for Colorado Springs, they've got to avoid spreading the field out too wide. They can use their speed. They can attack Rio Grande Valley. It's one of the things that Coach Wilmer Cabrera was concerned about for Rio Grande Valley, was trying to play one-on-one speed up and down the field. They want to attack with some efficiency, keep everything really tight against Rio Grande Valley, and allow that speed to lead to good scoring opportunities.
All right, we are underway now at HEB Park. Colorado Springs in the light blue with the white shorts, and the Rio Grande Valley Toros wearing the orange tops with the black shorts, kind of a Halloween look for them, and a look we've kind of become familiar with lately, isn't it, with these orange kits?
Yeah, it's a very special kit they've been wearing here at home the last couple of games, as they wear orange as a part of their hashtag Wear Orange campaign. This is an observance of National Gun Violence Awareness Month. The Toros have elected to wear this non-traditional orange at home in order to highlight their specific efforts and encourage fans to join in wearing orange possible in honor of gun violence awareness.
Wahab Akwe, defender for the Toros, tries to clear it. Goes off a Springs player. Akwe, the one who scored the game-tying goal very late, 97th minute, and the last home match for the Toros, and what ended up as a 3-3 draw with Miami FC. And in fact, the last two Toros matches have ended with some dramatic late goals. They got the Akwe goal in the 97th minute to secure a point there. Then on the road last week at New Mexico United, they had a late game-tying goal from Christian Pinzon. Ended up in a 2-2 draw there. And that was good that Pinzon, this first time he's gotten to play this year.
Yeah, and he was a spark plug at the end of last season for Rio Grande Valley. Arguably one of the best reasons why they made the playoff push in 2022. Out for the start of this season as he tries to get back into playing condition coming off some injuries. And what a great start to his campaign. First match in, he ends up picking up a game-tying goal.
And he had a plethora of goals late last year. I think he finished the year with 7, but came on in mid-year and tied for the team lead along with Frank Lopez. Colorado Springs Switchbacks with control at the moment. They have a very good goalkeeper in Christian Herrera. We'll tell you more about him as we see number 20, Patrick Segrist, trying to clear the ball. Goes off Nadarse. And it'll be a throw in here for the Switchbacks. Now, Switchbacks come in with 7 wins, 7 losses, and a draw. They have 22 points right now, and they're in the top 8 in the playoff picture right now for the Western Conference. But they have been pretty shaky on the road. Come in losers of 4 straight games on the road. They enter tonight with a pretty good win streak, though. Last 2 games were at home, and they pulled off shutout victories, a total of 6 goals in those 2 games. And the Toros, meanwhile, have scored 5 goals over their last 2 games.
And the Switchbacks have been phenomenal at home on the year. You mentioned outscoring their opponents 6-0 across their last 2 matches, but they also have had some really nice defensive performances. In goal, Christian Herrera has had 4 clean sheets on the year, currently finds himself in the lead with 52 saves across the USL. He's also tied for 8 with those 4 clean sheets. He has been phenomenal in net, and that allows their offense to have the confidence to take chances, be a little aggressive there because they know they've got some protection on the backside from their keeper.
Yeah, last week their offense had 18 shots, 9 corner kicks, as Herrera in goal made season-high 8 saves for his 4th clean sheet. That was a 2-0 win over the Las Vegas Lights. They had goals from Romario Williams and Malik Foster, both of whom are in the starting lineup tonight. Goes back to Herrera. Herrera, 6'7", 209 pounds. He's a monster back there in the net for the Switchbacks from Las Cruces, New Mexico. He's 26 years old.
But he also has some really nice agility with that size, 6'7", 209, but he can really cover some space. You've seen it a couple times down when Rio Grande Valley sent something deep. Prior to that backline defense being able to get to it for Colorado Springs, Herrera not afraid to come out of net and apply a little bit of pressure to that attack. When you've got a keeper with that kind of size and that agility, it can go a long way toward breaking down the opposing offense.
There's the first touch for Romario Williams. It's popped up in the air, and now we're going to get a free kick awarded to Colorado Springs. Right at midfield.
Looked like Juan Tejada got upended there by Frank Nodarce. Easy call to be made there for the official.
This is popped up in the air. Running onto it is Juan Tejada in the corner. No help at the moment. And then is dispossessed. That'll be cleared upfield, and Francois trying to gain control. He's pushed down, and this will be a free kick now for the home club.
It's a pretty good scrum there for the ball. You saw Francois got himself into position, was kind of boxing out there to give himself room to operate. And then when he tried to break away, they had two hands full of his kit. Hard to break away when someone's holding on that tight.
There's an opportunity here for the Switchbacks as they move into the penalty box. Kicked away. This is going to go out. This will be corner kick. And Switchbacks will have the first real opportunity of the match here. Yeah, Toros, we mentioned the Springs record. Toros mired in 11th place tonight with 2-5 record with 7 draws. 13 points they have. They're coming in off a 2-game unbeaten streak, but both of those wins were draws. 3-3 2 weeks ago here against Miami FC, and 2-2 last week at New Mexico United. Here's the corner kick, headed out by Pinzon. Switchbacks still have a chance here on this opportunity. This is Chapman, sends it into the box and goes through everyone. That could have been dangerous for Tyler Derrick there.
That was incredibly loud and extremely close. A beautiful cross and almost finds the foot of Patrick Segrist, who was kind of sliding in under the back of that defense, but it ends up coming a little bit too far left. He can't get to it as it exits over his right shoulder. And the Toros avoid a point-blank opportunity there for Colorado Springs.
Saw a long pass intended for Francois, but the Switchbacks defense able to head that forward. Now goes out of play. It'll be a Colorado Springs throw-in. This is the first meeting between these two this season. They will play again not till September 30th. Of course, that'll be the return match at Colorado Springs. Switchbacks were one of the highest scoring teams in the league last year, but this year have kind of fallen into the middle of the pack, come in with 19 goals scored in 15 games and tied for 13th in the league. And Toros, despite 5 goals over the last 2 games overall in the season, have done poorly in terms of turning opportunities into goals. Only 14 total goals, and they are third from bottom in the 24-team league.
And it's a point of contention for Toros head coach Wilmer Cabrera.
For an opportunity here, and Derrick has to come punch that away from Williams, as Williams had a little control settling that high ball, and Derrick coming out taking no chances, able to punch that one clear.
Tyler Derrick's a phenomenal keeper. You see here he reads this really well, doesn't over-pursue, but gets there and gets in the way of Williams, so he doesn't have just a wide open opportunity to knock that ball down and square it toward net. And then look at the camaraderie there, a little pat on the back as they both take a tumble after that collision.
Yeah, Williams actually ruled offside, so if he'd been able to convert, it would not have counted.
But
go ahead.
To your point a moment ago, Mark, the Toros have had a tremendous number of scoring opportunities. The challenging part that Coach Cabrera has talked about a number of times this season has been their inability to finish in those scoring opportunities. A little different look for Rio Grande Valley. In years past, they've been a team that's been pretty methodical, making, half to 3/4 of their shots on target. This season, they've not been able to put those shots on target in the net at a higher rate, but a positive sign for Rio Grande Valley, as we've mentioned a couple times already. 5 goals in their last 2 matches, so something is beginning to click with this offense.
Yeah, Toros in their last game, we mentioned the 2-2 draw at New Mexico United. Wilmer Cabrera scored for the 2nd straight game for his team-high 3rd goal. He's in the lineup tonight. And then we mentioned Pinzon in his first game this season, found the equalizer 4 minutes from time, as the Toros were able to pick up a point in front of 10,000 fans at Isotopes Park.
That was a very close opportunity you saw there for Rio Grande Valley. Christian Francois was able to work around the defense. Retandale was there. They just could not find the cross they were looking for, where the Switchbacks cleared that away. Here's an opportunity here building for Colorado Springs.
Sent in. It looks like it was intended for the forward player and intercepted there by Tyler Derrick. Ten minutes in, no score as yet. Colorado Springs has generally controlled most of the action here so far. There we see the captain, Matthew Mahoney. Have been a stalwart for this Colorado Springs club. Mahoney actually third in the USL in passing. Well, the ball goes through him quite a bit. This is Segrist right here. Segrist, who's from Barrington, Illinois, 25-year-old defender. Gets his own pass back. And a chance here brewing for Colorado Springs. Tejada. The touch inside was intercepted by Davila. Davila, the box-to-box midfielder, coming in with that interception. And it's back to Derrick now. Now, Derrick hasn't played in a little while, has he?
No. Rio Grande Valley had kind of given him a little bit of a breather, deciding to go with Carlos Marancio the last couple of matches, and he did a good job in net, as the Toros did come away with 2 draws in those matches. A number of those goals, especially in the 3-3 draw with Miami FC, were just breakdowns on the backside, and he found himself just kind of point blank with an attacking forward. But after that little bit of a break, it looks like Tyler Derrick, who happens to be the leader in saves all time for Rio Grande Valley, finds himself back in net and his sure hands trying to lead this defense once again.
Yeah, and I didn't see it as Derrick playing poorly or anything like that. He may have been had some nagging injuries or something, but I think he could have still played. But I think it was more that Wilmer Cabrera just wanted to see what Marancio could do.
In the USL season, it never hurts to have 2 quality keepers on your bench. Any guy you could bring out at any given moment. And you may see different things from different keepers and realize that Marancio is a better matchup for certain opponents as compared to Tyler Derrick. So it gives you the ability to kind of flex against who your opponent is and perhaps give your opponent a moment of pause. Who will Rio Grande Valley have in net, and how does that affect the way we develop our attack?
So Derrick, you see clearing it here. Colorado Springs aggressive on the counter. Able to head the ball back, but the Toros end up with it. Davila, a soft touch back to Pinzon. Now it's going to go to their center back. Eric Pimentel is wearing the captain's armband tonight, normally worn by Juan David Cabezas, but Cabezas not in the lineup tonight. Nor is Ricky Ruiz. Remember, he got shaken up 2 weeks ago when he played Miami FC down here.
And 2 of the 3 Toros that were shaken up in that match against Miami FC not getting the starts in this one. Neither also started their last time out against New Mexico.
So they're both missing their 2nd straight game now. Long pass all the way to the left side of the field, picked up by Segrist. Segrist going to force the action now, trying to get it to Williams. Williams couldn't quite find the handle. Tejada recovers. Now a shot, and it's going to go over the bar. First opportunity for either club there. A big goal kick here for Tyler Derrick and company.
Here's Tejada doing a nice job of just kind of dribbling through to allow that one to make its way back to Chapman, who ends up floating it just a little bit high. Gotta like the aggression, though, from Colorado Springs. They've been controlling the pace of play thus far. When the opportunity presented itself, that was a really nice strike.
That ball got by Pimentel, but Acque, you saw, was there to clear it into safety. Now a chance here for Francois. He's able to keep this in. No, not quite. Riding that line there like a tightrope at a circus for a moment.
A great look at the speed of Francois as well. He splits 2 defenders and tries to just kind of roll that right down the line and then beat them in the foot race. A little bit too much English on that as it slowly rolls its way out as he tries to run it down.
And Springs quickly back on the counter here. This is Tejada, able to get turned. The ball pushed into open space a little bit, rolls to the foot of Siegrist. Comes back to Echeverria, and they'll give it all the way to their back line with Mahoney there. And then their center back, Oscar Agren, who's from Sweden. Got to be brutal, this weather, for somebody who comes from one of the Nordic countries.
It's a toasty one here in Edinburgh, Texas. High today was 107. Game time temperature on the field 101. So we'll expect to see a hydration timeout probably in both halves of this one. Give these two teams a chance to hydrate, keep themselves fresh.
And there we see Williams knocked down from behind. Play continues. This could be one of those, well, I was going to say it might have been advantage, but now referee ruling a foul and free kick here for the Toros. That was Benzon who's able to draw that whistle. Foul on Devin Williams. Williams out of Jamaica. Back to Derek. Derek in a little bit of trouble there as Williams was closing in. Now here's Tejada. Colorado Springs on the move here. Siegrist against two markers, tries to send it into space, but Williams wasn't rushing forward. It's possession lost. Now Chapman. A deflected shot there goes well wide of the net. This will be another corner for the visiting club. In terms of possession, these two teams are about even. Springs averages about 53% possession in a game, 52% for the Toros, as we see the replay there by Jairo Enriquez, the midfielder.
Two teams that like to make their opportunity rather than teams that want to try to build off of the counter. But as we've seen, it's been all Colorado Springs as far as time of possession thus far in this one. The Toros finding themselves kind of on their back heels trying to build off the counter.
Oh, an opportunity there for Colorado Springs. As the ball chipped in front. They're unable to redirect it past Derek. Biggest opportunity of the match so far as we take another look.
See, it was a nice job of just laying that one down across by Ogren. He was looking for someone to step forward. That passes the feet of two different switchbacks who I think thought somebody else further down the line was going to get that last touch. See them kind of shake their heads saying what could have been.
A missed opportunity early on here for Colorado Springs. We said coming in off a two-game win streak. Picking up 6 points over the last two matches. They're at 22 points entering tonight. Toros at 13 points. I think Springs with Colorado Springs, if they win, could move all the way up into a tie for fourth place.
Yeah, the top side of the West is really tightly compact right now.
This is offside. Goes off the post. Shot by Williams. Second time they've tried to spring it to Williams breaking in on the keeper. Both times called offside.
This is very close. Williams broke about 2 steps too quick there. You see, he saw what was developing. Eric Pimentel and Wahid Akwe stepped forward to challenge. By stepping forward, Williams breaks. He finds himself 2 or 3 steps too far past. But that's something to keep an eye on if you're Rio Grande Valley. Williams is out there poaching for a goal, and all he needs to do is kind of stay onside, and he was going to be point-blank one-on-one with Tyler Derrick.
Good execution on the offside trap there by Rio Grande Valley. Here are the switchbacks with the throw in. They're going to send it back to their keeper, Christian Herrera. Herrera has yet to be tested through the first 19 minutes. This is Chapman here with some pressure from Davila. Forced to play it back to his keeper. Long pass into space. Tejada trying to run onto that one. He's going to get there in time. Oh, not quite. He just lost the handle there at the end. It's going to be a throw in here for Rio Grande Valley. It's Akwe, who's out of Ghana. And the stalwarts there on that back line for the Toros. This will be a free kick now for Rio Grande Valley. Yeah, Colorado Springs, one of the top clubs in the league when it comes to fouls. They entered tonight third in the league in fouls conceded, averaging over 15 a game. And they're tied for fourth in terms of yellow cards.
Not afraid to be physical.
Well, speaking of physical, Eric Pimentel controlling the ball right now for the Toros.
Pimentel, a bit of an enforcer on the back line for Rio Grande Valley, does lead the team in red cards. He's got 2 on the year. Kind of feast or famine with Pimentel on the back line. You know he's not going to give up easy goals, and he's going to be very, very physical. But it's about understanding where that line is, making sure that you're physical but don't draw a booking in the process. Pimentel has been kind of finding his footing in that regard on the year.
A chance now brewing for the Toros. Benitez passes it back, goes to the foot of Pimentel now. Pimentel's been on a couple of championship clubs in Liga Mexico, where he was born, 32 years old. Here's Akwe moving forward. He'll find Darce, the Cuban. Sends it back to Akwe. Trying to get it to Davila, though. And Mahoney was there to intercept that one. Gets it to the foot of Williams. A quick pass to the right wing. Chance here for Colorado Springs. Moving inside. There's the ball. There's Williams. And there's a touch for a goal, but no, it's going to be offside. It's going to be offside, no goal. Second time Colorado Springs has come very close, but unable to get one on the board.
That's an example of Williams being just a little bit too unselfish. You see, Beckford gets that back to him. Williams, rather than trying to take the strike there after he puts the defender on skates, tries to come back and feed Beckford again. Beckford just offside. Romario Williams probably in a better position there just to go ahead and try to put a strike on it, as he had a pretty good opportunity to put one on net.
Yeah, Williams, good opportunity for what would have been his 7th goal. Came in tied for 4th in the league in goals. Here's Ian Settle. Now they play it back to Tyler Derrick. Pimentel works it to midfield to Settle. And Darce and Settle are trying to work a little give and go there, but goes out of play. This will be a Toros throw in here. Halfway through the first half, no scores yet. Switchbacks have controlled the action. Toros not really used to that. They're a team that generates chances, generates shots, but finishing has been their albatross this year. Pimentel, reverse it over to the left side. There's Ritondole over there. Taken down, Echeverria sends it forward. This is Beckford moving into the box. Shot blocked in front by Pimentel, and then Derrick alertly comes out to grab it. Headed by Mahoney to Segrist. Segrist chased by Francois. That's going to go to the foot of Nadarce. Nadarce, 6'2" defender, just 22 years old. From Havana, Cuba. 2 Cubans on this Toros roster. Frank Lopez, the other one. Now here's Pinzon. Pinzon, who had the first goal of the season last week against New Mexico United. They're battling injuries all season. Gets another touch there. Settle with it. Settle, who's out of Miami, 26-year-old midfielder. Akwe comes up to play this ball. And I think with the temperature being as high as it is, Brian, I think that this is going to lead to some hydration break coming up.
And we talked about 101 degrees at kickoff. We'll look for a hydration break at about the 30-minute mark. Give or take a little bit of time depending on the action on the pitch. Likely we'll see another one at about that same time during the second half, somewhere around the 75th minute.
So Pimentel able to get turned. Toros with some pressure here. Forced to play it back to their keeper now. Williams closing in. That one chested down there and sent ahead to Francois. I believe the offside flag had come up. It did.
There's one person on this Toros team that has the speed to challenge Colorado Springs. It's Christian Francois, but you saw it there. He was a couple of steps ahead of the closest defender there, breaking away. Easy offside call to make there.
Yeah, that was Segrist who was marking him. Put him in an allowed him to go into an offside position. Both of these teams are been pretty good at generating shots. I think Colorado Springs averages almost 12 a game. That puts them 10th in the league in terms of shots. But Rio Grande Valley is 7th in the league, averaging nearly 13 shots a game. That gives you a sense of the lack of finishing power they've had when they're 7th in the league in generating shots, but they're 22nd in terms of scoring goals. Conversion rate of just 10%. Colorado Springs has a conversion rate of 14%. Just to give you an idea, the league leader, Monterey Bay, is at 25%. Springs sending this one deep, headed forward by the Toros. They've got possession now. Ritondole, 21 years old, out of Argentina. Sends it to Francois. Francois out of Haiti. Now a long chip going to go to the foot of Nadarce. Great settle there by Nadarce and finds Davila. Toro still building up. Taking their time, trying to generate. Still looking for their first shot, actually. Oh, that was too far for Benitez to get onto, and it's going to be a turnover. Be Colorado Springs ball now. Skundrich sending it back to Echeverria. Now it's the Switchbacks who are facing a little bit of pressure here by the Toros. Toros not letting anything go forward. Colorado Springs has quite a few players among the league leaders. Their forward, Romario Williams, we mentioned him, tied for 8th in goals. Deshane Beckford is tied for 4th in assists with 4, and he's tied for 7th in shots in the league. Alec Foster is 6th in chances created. Defender Matthew Mahoney's 3rd in the league in total passes. And he has a teammate, Devin Williams, who's 8th in the league. So 2 of the top passers, individual passers in the USL Championship, both in this Colorado Springs starting lineup tonight. And Jairo Enriquez is 3rd in the league in terms of crosses. 29th minute now, no score between Colorado Springs and Rio Grande Valley Toros. Nadarce now shaken up.
Toros fans, make sure you stop by the Toros team store today, located near gate number.
Look at the action right here as Rio Grande Valley tries to get that back to Nadarce. Tejada coming in a little bit hot there, ends up getting in behind the legs of Nadarce and kind of buckling him.
Tejada, a 26-year-old forward out of Panama, has 1 goal this season. And now here are the Toros on the move once more. Sending it forward. That was intended for Pinzon. Kicked away by Mahoney. Toros still with a chance here. Pass knocked away by Chapman, now at the foot of Mahoney. Mahoney is from Buffalo, New York, 28-year-old defender. Wearing that captain's armband here tonight. A Segrist with room to work with. Back to Echeverria. Now Chapman forced to get rid of it quickly. Oh, nice little touch into space there. That was Wheeler. Or excuse me, it was Sundrich. Sundrich trying to get control. It was kicked away. Now it's at Beckford's foot. Echeverria trying to find a room for a shot, perhaps. Switchbacks looking for something here. Chapman's going to chip it into the box, left side. Segrist a heavy touch, and Darcy's on top of that one. And it'll be a corner kick. Or will it? It's going to be goal kick.
Good challenge for Rio Grande Valley in that final third to get some bodies in there and not give the Switchbacks an opportunity to try to settle and bring it back across the face of the net. Saw that a couple of times very early in the attack here. Rio Grande Valley kind of playing back on their heels and allowing the Switchbacks to move the ball back and forth across the face of the net. See right here, Nodarse right in the middle of it, kind of cuts off the angle there from Segrist, does not allow him to settle and then try to move it back into the middle.
Yeah, taking the water break right now, but yes, Nodarse coming back. Back check there. We can take a look at the schedules now between these two, starting with the Colorado Springs Switchbacks.
Find ourselves right in the meat of this USL schedule as we enter the end of the month of June. Here's what the Switchbacks have coming up. After this one, they'll be at New Mexico United on the 24th. Going to take the pace of play. As we talked about right before we entered the hydration timeout, Colorado Springs is really taking advantage of being able to move the ball in the box across the face. As a team focused on defense, you've got to do a better job of not allowing your opponent so much room to operate in your box.
Got a free kick here awarded to Colorado Springs. I was going to say the Toros might look for a goal here in the first half, because the first half is when they've gotten the majority of their goals. Of their 14 goals, 10 have come in the first half this season, only 4 in the second half. Been generally a first half club this year.
2 of those 4 equalizers in each of their last 2 matches. So second half not the friendly side for Rio Grande Valley.
Yeah, they have 3 goals all season that occurred in the last 15 minutes, but 2 in each of the last 2 weeks. 2 of those 3. Going to have a throw in here for the Toros. Or would this be a free kick, actually? 5 fouls so far on Colorado Springs, 2 on Rio Grande Valley. Toros put it back in play here with about 10 minutes and change remaining in half number 1. Toros amazingly still looking for their first win at home this season. Both of their wins have come on the road. And at home this year, they're 0-3 with 5 draws. And Colorado Springs, a team that has struggled on the road as of late, come in on a 4-match losing streak. After tonight, they're back on the road again, as you saw against, they'll be at New Mexico United. Long pass intended for Francois. And it's going to be headed by Mahoney back to Hedetta. And Colorado Springs will start on the move now.
To your point earlier, Mark, Toros do better when they score early and score quick. 2 wins on the year for Rio Grande Valley. Both of those wins came when they scored first.
Oh, here's Williams. Williams called offsides once more. The feed from Skundrich, but Williams having trouble reading that back line there. 4 offside calls here in the first half on Colorado Springs.
Worth mentioning as well, Toros yet to be defeated on the year when they score first. 2 wins and 3 draws when they're in the first team to score. Also 2 wins and 3 draws when they have the lead at half. So scoring in the first half is the golden ticket if you're Rio Grande Valley.
Mahoney sends it back to Hedetta. And now Chapman will be able to get turned and move it up. You can see a shadow has moved all the way across the pitch now. Thankfully for these players, as it at 100-degree temperatures at kickoff this evening. Seto trying to get through 2 markers. He's dispossessed. Play will continue. Devin Williams, as we mentioned, one of the top 10 players in the league in terms of passing. Sends it over. It gets to Chapman's foot now. He'll try to reverse it. Goes off of Williams with the 1 touch to Segrist. A lot of lateral passing here by Colorado Springs. Trying to keep that defense moving. Chapman will send it long to the right side. Heavy first touch there by Skundrich. Then kicked upfield by Ritondole. Francois in a duel there with Agren. Switchbacks will start anew. Tejada's going to pop this up over the head of Williams. And it goes to Skundrich. Skundrich, the midfielder out of Pennsylvania. Into the box now. Beckford, his shot is too high. Had Williams in the middle. 3 defenders surrounding him. Beckford unable to do much with that.
He turns there, and it looks like he ends up sending that off the back of Pimentel. See, bend, don't break defense there for Rio Grande Valley. They get that into Beckford, and indeed, he puts that strike and gets it off of Eric Pimentel. So another corner now for Colorado Springs.
You're right. I hadn't seen that. Pimentel able to get that touch in there. That might have given Derek some real problems. Here's 3rd corner so far for Colorado Springs. Chapman pops this into the box. Derek coming out and able to grab that one. Long pass. Tejada running onto that one. It's intended for Seto, and back comes Colorado Springs. A rare mistake there by Derek, but the Toros able to regain possession. Long pass for Benitez. He's got Benzon in the middle. Against 3 markers. Moved that too far inside, and Williams rushing back was able to intercept. Devin Williams out of Jamaica.
Looked like as Williams tried to turn and send that one back upfield, he may have just stepped out.
Back to the control of the Switchbacks at the foot of Mahoney. They'll find Segrist. They'll work it up the left wing. Segrist out of Illinois. 6 foot, 169-pound defender. There's Mahoney. 2 defenders closing in. So he'll get rid of it to Beckford. Trying to get a surgical strike there for Williams, who is breaking toward the box. Intercepted and disrupted there by the Toros. Toros having their problems trying to generate offense here tonight, something we haven't really seen in terms of them creating chances.
I think a big part of that's been the speed of Colorado Springs. They have really been able to close quickly on any attack by Rio Grande Valley, and they're not giving them room to send those long passes to the wings and allow themselves just to kind of make up space on the pitch by moving wing to wing. That speed from Colorado Springs has been deadly.
Yeah, and the Toros head coach, Wilmer Cabrera, he talked about the speed, didn't he, during this week?
A number of times he focused on his team's need to not try to win track meets here against Colorado Springs, but be very, very dedicated in what they do, saying we cannot expect to compete with the speed directly because they're so agile. We've got to avoid the foot race. We need to focus on playing our game plan and not fall into any traps in the back to avoid them making a difference with their speed.
Saw Skundrich turned away, and then Agren errs on the side of caution, sends it back to his keeper. The Switchback can maintain possession here. There's the foot of Tejada now. He's pushed down from behind. It'll be a free kick. So Davila committing the foul. It's the 3rd so far on the Toros. Long pass. This is Williams able to settle it nicely. He's got Tejada inside. Now forced to retreat all the way out to the edge of the attacking third. Then his pass intended for Skundrich is intercepted. Now the Toros on the move. Ritondole got the intercept, finds Pinzon. Pinzon with 7 goals last year, looking for a shot, trying to move. Then tried to get it to Francois. He'll shoot. Instead, it'll be too high. First real opportunity of the match there for the home club.
That was developing really quickly for Rio Grande Valley, but I think that attack just kind of fizzled as Pinzon tried to come back in toward the middle. Look at how the Switchbacks don't over-pursue. They stay back. They set up kind of a pretty tight wall there. Don't give Pinzon a wide look at the net. He dribbles around for a moment, ultimately just tries to take the shot available to him. That is spectacular defense by the Switchbacks. Stay back, set up a wall, cut down the angles. Do not allow him to progress any further there.
Yeah, that was a good example of how not to panic in that kind of situation. A lot of times young defenders might take themselves out anticipating the shot and throwing their legs at it and taking themselves out of the play. But you didn't see that there. 3 defenders all maintaining their ground. And eventually Pinzon did not ever have an angle that he could shoot at. Switchbacks back on the move now. Pushing it up is Agren. Now it's Echeverria. Trying to get inside to Williams. This is onside. It's kicked away by Akwe. Still a chance here as the ball bouncing around in the area. Segrist comes up. His shot is blocked in front by Nodarse. It'll be another corner here for Colorado Springs. Boy, and the Toros just dodging bullets like they're in the Matrix right now.
Nodarse takes the opportunity here as that ball is passed down at the foot of Segrist. You see Nodarse, nice job of a sliding tackle there, stays in front of it, does not put his feet into Segrist, but stays out wide and is able just to deflect that off of the foot and out. But again, another corner for Colorado Springs.
To be Chapman once more. Bit of an in-swinger, and Derek able to punch that one in a crowd. Back to the foot of Chapman. He'll cross it in, and it's headed out. That was Pimentel able to get his noggin on that one. And now it's Pinzon trying to run onto it in a duel there with Echeverria. Toros will have the throw in here at the attacking third. Last few minutes of the first half. Both teams would love to have a lead going into halftime. Here's Seto. Toros slowing the pace down just a little bit, being real patient here. Pimentel now to Davila. Davila, who's among the league leaders in chances created, came in with 28 here tonight. Sends it in for Pinzon, unable to get turned. It's kicked away from him. And back come the Switchbacks. Looks like we'll have a modest amount of time added on here to the first half.
Just 2 minutes. That's probably the 2 minutes taken for the hydration break. So other significant stoppages here in the first half.
Chapman was looking for Tejada, who's moved over to the right side of the field. Wasn't open. Back to Chapman now. A little give and go here with Skundrich. And he'll slip it to Tejada. Inside to Williams, trying to get turned. Davila forced him to pass it back, and now it's intercepted there by Pinzon, who goes down in a heap. Saw there for a moment the 2 on the fourth official's his sign there that add 2 minutes to our first half.
Pinzon again just has his legs kind of folded under him. Skundrich comes up and tries to apply some pressure. And anytime you get pressure against the back of that knee, it's hard to keep those legs stiff. Pinzon goes down in a pile.
A little over a minute remaining here in half number 1. It's been mostly controlled by Colorado Springs. They've certainly had the better of the opportunities and more opportunities. Only 1 shot so far for the Toros. Davila over to the right side is Nodarse. He'll go back to Akwe. Akwe, who had his first goal 2 weeks ago against Miami FC, came in the 97th minute to secure a point, a 3-3 draw. The highest scoring game in the league that night. Now it goes to Settle once more. He'll send it ahead to Ritondole. Into the box, Francois. Heavy touch. And Switchbacks gain control. Now Williams pushed from behind, and this will be a free kick for the visitors. And Williams seems shaken up.
That is a nice job of slipping that one through. You see Coronado coming in from behind, applying some pressure there, and perhaps just a little too physical with Williams.
Williams seemed at first to be grasping that left shoulder. Yeah, now you can see his left arm kind of just dangling. So should be just a few seconds left, and there we go. There's the whistle for half number one. No score between these two. We did see chances on both sides, both teams feeling the need to grab all 3 points here tonight. So after one half of play, no score here at HEB Park. We'll take a break. We'll check out when we come back what's going on around in the USL. We'll have a look at first half highlights and stats, plus the schedules and more. Right now, you're watching USL Championship Soccer on ESPN+.
At HEB, we're inspired by Mexico. The colors, the flavors, and aromas. And we want to share them with you. So we created the HEB Mi Tienda family of products with authentic Mexican flavors, from savory marinated meats, frijoles and queso, to tamales, soft drinks, and more. HEB Mi Tienda brings you the traditional flavors you love. One more reason here, everything's better.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow.
Creating more jobs.
And more opportunities for all of us.
Working together.
Together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
When it comes to our familia, we all have our own flavor and expression. At Tequila de Corralejo, we believe sharing our individuality is what makes gathering together so fun. Here's to those who stand tall and share their passion.
Espinos Tires on FAR 83 has been serving the Valley for over 30 years. We offer a wide assortment of tires, wheels, and auto parts. Let us build your dream vehicle with only $49 down. No credit required.
Did you know when you bank with Lone Star National Bank, you're investing in your community? By creating jobs that stimulate our local economy, creating success that we share with our community. In fact, Lone Star National Bank donates more money and more volunteers to more causes than all other area banks combined. We do what the little banks can't, and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
No score here at HEB Park, and time now for our halftime report, Brian.
So thanks to our halftime sponsor, Live Oak Vodka, the official vodka sponsor of the Rio Grande Valley Toros. Now find ourselves entering the next week of USL play. We'll take a look at our Week 15 feature.
Are you ready? Ready for more of the game you love? Ready for more players and more teams? Ready for more stadiums, for more fans in more cities? This is a different league. The USL Super League. Built for the future of women's soccer. Bridging the journey from youth to pro, connected to the global game, and bringing it all closer to home. Are you ready?
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Taxes man, left foot, and it's a first-time shot, and a goal! Luis Fernando! It's turned over. Babu Karjai to put it away! Phoenix Rising will take all 3 points, 3-1 Rising!
That's everything you need to know across Week 15 in the USL. Take a look at your team of the week for Week 15, and quite a performance from your player of the week. That is Charleston Battery forward Nick Markinek. Had himself a phenomenal appearance, scoring twice in his team's 4-3 victory over Hartford Athletic last Saturday at Trinity Health Stadium. But when you look at his performance, what really stands out, an off-season acquisition for Charleston. He's done some spectacular job as a performer over the last couple of matches after being sidelined for most of May due to injury. 23-year-old struck the first 2 minutes before halftime with a perfectly placed free kick to put his team up and power them to that 4-3 victory. Elsewhere across the team of the week, one nominee from Rio Grande Valley made the bench team. That's Taylor Davila of Rio Grande Valley.
Also, a former Toro there, defender Carter Manley, making it for San Antonio FC.
Also talk about some other important facts around the USL this week. There is a new legend among the ownership of Birmingham, as NBA legend and Nason Memorial Hall of Fame member Dominique Wilkins has joined the team's ownership group as a new investor. Currently the VP of basketball operations of the Atlanta Hawks, Wilkins brings his passion for investing to communities throughout his new ownership spot with Birmingham's longest-standing professional sports team. And you know how much we love new kits in the USL. Tulsa brings a new one into the 2023 season called their Indigenous Peoples Kit, which the club will debut on July 12th for Indigenous Peoples Night. The jersey was designed as a way to intertwine both indigenous art with sport and community. This kit will be available for purchase online at the FC Tulsa team shop. Also, a change in coaching there at Miami FC as they announced the departure of Anthony Polis as head coach. The team has now appointed Louis Neal as their interim coach. He's been with the team since December 2022 and will take over headship of the team on Saturday when they hit the road to face Monterey Bay.
And you're mentioning the Tulsa FC. They're going to host the Toros on July 21st, so they'll get a chance to see those jerseys.
Get a chance now to take a look at games elsewhere in action across the USL. 4 games in action on the evening, 3 of which are currently underway. At the half, Birmingham has the 1-0 lead over Loudoun. Credit that off the foot of Wego for Birmingham. Memphis has the 2-0 lead over Tulsa. Both those goals coming in the first 25 minutes. An own goal and then a strike by Dally in the 25th minute puts Memphis up 2-0 on Tulsa. Rio Grande Valley and Colorado Springs, as you know, knotted at 0-0 at halftime. Kicking off any minute now out in Phoenix. New Mexico is at Phoenix Rising. Here's what those outcomes mean in the standings overall across the USL. Take a look at the West where both of these two teams play. At the top, El Paso Locomotive running away with the USL right now, 30 points, but right on their heels is Sacramento Republic. Now here's what gets interesting with those standings is look how tight everyone gets between 4 and 7th. Just 3 points separate Colorado Springs, who currently sits.
National Bank donates more money and more volunteers to more causes than all other area banks combined. We do what the little banks can't, and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's Bank.
Back here in Edinburgh, Texas, HEB Park, and time to look at some highlights, Brian.
Plenty of action in the first half, but the bulk of it being on the side of the Switchbacks of Colorado Springs. Early opportunity here floats just a little bit high for the Switchbacks. Look at this phenomenal pass across the middle. Williams just a little bit too unselfish there, trying to find Beckwith, but he was just offsides on the strike. Another nice opportunity building here for Colorado Springs. Rio Grande Valley, opportunities were few and far between, but here's a pretty good shot for Pinzon. Floats it just a little bit high. These two teams still knotted at 0-0. Sliding tackle there from Franco Darce. Kept the ball off the foot of Segrist. That was another great opportunity for Colorado Springs. Plenty of opportunities, but nothing yet quite finding the back of the net on either side.
And looking at some of the stats in the first half, Colorado Springs out shooting the Toros 4-1. Neither team had a shot on target, so no saves for either keeper. And then 4 corner kicks to none. 4 corner kicks for Colorado Springs, none for the Toros. Fouls were nearly even. Colorado Springs with 6, the Toros with 4 in the first half. And then offside, you had 4 offside flags against Colorado Springs as they kept trying to spring. Romario Williams came close a couple of times, even put one in the back of the net, but that was ruled offside, and 1 offside call against Rio Grande Valley. But in terms of time of possession, we don't have that stat with us, but I would guess about 60-40 in favor of Colorado Springs.
I think that's fair. We saw a nice job by Colorado Springs of being pretty patient with the ball. They got into their attack and did a nice job of just continuing to kind of test that line for Rio Grande Valley. How far will the Toros come out to challenge? And the answer was not very far. The Toros were pretty happy staying back with those 6 defenders, taking up a lot of space and not allowing Colorado Springs to try to turn this into a track meet where they're sending it to the wings and racing up and down the pitch.
You know, the Toros last week had their lowest time of possession all season, just 36%, but they were able to score 2 goals. So maybe they're not quite uncomfortable or out of their comfort zone when the other team does have the ball. Last week they were able to score twice with barely over a third of the possession time.
And we've seen that kind of wax and wane for Rio Grande Valley over the last number of seasons. 2 years ago, under the same head coach, Wilmer Cabrera, this was a Toros team that wanted to win time of possession, and they routinely had a 65-35, 60-40 advantage over their opponents. Last year, we see that kind of flex a little bit. The Toros willing to kind of stand back and build on the counter to develop their attack. Back to this season, first half of the year has been all about the Toros being in control, but perhaps we're reaching kind of that tipping point here in Rio Grande Valley, where Coach Cabrera sees what he has on the pitch and says, maybe we're stronger building off of the counter, allowing our opponents to kind of wear themselves out trying to maintain time of possession, and we take advantage of that late.
So we'll see what develops here in this second half. It seemed the Switchbacks game plan was working as far as generating opportunities. Just the timing a little bit off as they saw the offside flag come up 4 times. But I expect they will continue with that tactic of trying to spring it to Romario Williams, their leading goal scorer, moving in alone on the net. Toros, meanwhile, need to generate some more offense as they only had 1 shot. And we saw that there was a Pinzon, a contested opportunity from outside the box, was the only offense to speak of in the first half for the Orange and Black. Underway now in half number 2 here at HEB Park. Teams have switched ends. Toros in orange, and in blue and white are the Colorado Springs.
Quick foul call here is going to go against Tyler Davila as he ends Tejada there, who was trying to get possession and move back into an attacking spot.
No substitutes at halftime. Both teams still have their full complement of 5 available. See a chip here over to Skundrich. Skundrich out of Pennsylvania, 5'11" midfielder. And this is Agren. Agren, as we mentioned, a 24-year-old defender out of Sweden. Sure he enjoys the cool climate up there in Colorado. Long pass intended for Beckford, is able to chip it on net, but Derek is there for what would be his first save of the match.
Pretty good opportunity to make something out of not much there for Beckford. The defense was back. It looked like Beckford was just going to try to knock that one down and maintain possession. He ends up putting a little bit of chip on it. Puts it pretty close to net. You see Tyler Derrick had to come out and pick that one up before any of the switchbacks could get into an attacking position.
Benzon in space. First pass blocked and sends it to the left to Ritondole. Now into the box, and it was behind Francois, but still an opportunity here. Goes to Davila. Davila, former LA Galaxy 2 member, will send it across to Benitez. Benitez out of Venezuela. And Coronado finds Ritondole, the Argentine. Toros taking their time on the build-up here. They're a very strong team when they get the first goal. If they can do it here as Akwe pushes forward. Now to Darce will send it across. And that's going to be too far to be goal kick here for the Switchbacks.
That cross gets up in the wind. Looks like it carried it just a little bit there. Despite the high temperatures, we have some pretty decent wind on the evening. That one hung up just a little bit too high. Ends up carrying out rather than being able to stay in toward the edge of the box.
It's one of 4 games going on in the USL Championship tonight. One of them that could impact the standings a little bit as far as the Toros are concerned. They have a chance to overtake New Mexico United should United lose tonight against Orange County, and if the Toros are able to pick up 3 here against Colorado Springs. Another whistle there on the Toros. Looks like Pinzon just running up the back of the Switchbacks player. That ball kicked away from Williams, goes to Pinzon, who's now being grabbed from behind. Pinzon allows himself to fall, is going to pick up the free kick here. Saw the intercept here by the Switchbacks, and they're back on the move. And they'll have a throw in here near midfield. Early minutes of the second half. We haven't mentioned Christian Herrera's name much tonight, the goalkeeper for Colorado Springs. Only faced 1 shot so far. Came in as the league leader in saves. Here's Francois on the move for the Toros. Over to Ritondole. Forced to play it back to Benitez. Now Akwe will force the action. Benitez with space to work with. Toros patient on the build-up here. Keeps sending it across. Looking for that soft underbelly in the Switchbacks defense. Akwe once more. Now Benitez. Venezuelan's going to chip it for Pinzon in the box. And this one intercepted by Ogren. Intended for Williams, and that one nicely anticipated by Pimentel. Chance here brewing. Here's Francois. Francois on the edge of the box. He's got 3 markers, forced to retreat. Davila, I think, might have been trying to get to Ritondole, but Settle tried to settle a hard shot. Bounces off him, and now an opportunity for the Switchbacks. Beckford. Dispossessed there by Pimentel. And the Toros back on the move now. Throw in there by Pinzon. Pinzon playing just his second game with the Toros out of Bellflower, California.
Spark plug for their offense last season. Came in at the midway point, ended up scoring 7 goals on the year for Rio Grande Valley last year. We mentioned previously, opened this season shaking off some injuries, now just his second performance, but he did pick up a goal in his opener last week.
Ritondole will chip this all the way to the far side. Francois chasing after it. Tejada doesn't want to concede a corner kick. It will concede the throw in instead. Yeah, that was the game-tying goal, wasn't it? last week.
Another nice offensive addition to this attack for Rio Grande Valley. They were still trying to kind of find what their attack looked like leading up into their last 2 matches. 5 goals across 2 matches now. Rio Grande Valley looks to have finally found some sure footing offensively. But some strong defense here from Colorado Springs has held them at bay early on.
Saw that ball headed out by the defense. Here's Williams slipping it to Tejada. Has some space to work with. Tejada against Aquay is able to shoot, and it's going to be wide. Good opportunity there for the Switchbacks.
Phenomenal buildup. They were able to move that into the middle. Had 2 wings coming down either side. You saw they end up finding Tejada, who was a little bit wider to the left. He bends back in toward the middle. This is a really nice strike in the face of 2 good defenders. Pushes it just a little bit wide right.
Had Davila and Aquay on him. Goes to the foot of Chapman for the Switchbacks. Switchbacks coming in with 2 straight wins, 7-7 with 1 draw this year. And the Toros, it's been mostly draws. 7 of their 14 games have ended in a tie. They're 2-5 with 7 ties. I think the referee's going to move the throw in a little further back.
Little miscommunication there for Colorado Springs. The Chavarria ends up deflecting that one out. I think he was trying to work a give and go there with Segrist. Segrist not on the same page.
Yeah, I mentioned the Toros 7 draws in 14 games last year, Brian. They had 7 draws in the whole season, 34 games.
An interesting stat to check when you follow Rio Grande Valley. The 7 draws means there aren't a lot of teams that are really defeating them. They're playing everyone pretty level. What they have not found the ability to do yet is turn some of those close matches into wins. Think about it. A couple of those draws become ties. A couple of those draws become wins, and Rio Grande Valley finds himself in a very different position in the standings in West.
Indeed. And here's a chip by Chapman to the far post. Tejada was the closest one there as Derek intercepts. Derek trying to get that to Francois. Was a little off target. Ritondole able to salvage it, however. Out of the foot of Benitez and back to Pimentel. Pimentel wearing the captain's armband here tonight. 32-year-old veteran out of Mexico. Played with Chivas, Guadalajara. Here's Francois. Francois with a nice move to get open, gets it to Settle, who was trying to get it inside to Pinzon, but it was kicked away from him by Mahoney. So Switchbacks able to break up an attack there. Now Aquay is appeared to be tripped up, but he stepped on, looks like Williams, and Williams is shaken up once more, and it'll be a free kick for Colorado Springs.
Looked like Aquay and Williams just had their feet tied up together, and then as Aquay goes down, he ends up dragging one of those cleats right across the forehead of Williams. Becking the trainer out to take a look at him.
That might be checking for blood now too. So a lot of times those cleats can cut that thin skin across your forehead. Had that happen to me one time in a rec league. It was the goalkeeper came out to make a diving save right at the foot of this attacker, and his on his follow through he missed the ball, but he caught my head, my forehead. Still made the save though. The important.
That's
thing.
the important part.
Yeah,
I was going to
that's the important part.
Sacrificed a little bit of skin for the win.
So 57th minute now here at HEB Park. This half beginning a lot like the first half in that Colorado Springs controlling the action. Here on the move here is Skundrich. Finds Beckford. Beckford is only 5'9", 140 pounds. scampering through, his pass kicked away. Looks like Colorado Springs able to maintain possession here. Williams, by the way, still on the field. Chapman's going to chip this into the area, and there's a header back to the keeper. And an alert Tyler Derrick able to grab that one after it was headed back to him by Nadarse. Yeah, that shows good communication there, but sometimes that can be absolutely disastrous when you send it back to your keeper with basically no notice like that. Orioles look like they have some substitutions coming up here in a moment. They have about 3 players come in.
Frank Lopez will enter for Rio Grande Valley, replacing Cristiano Francois. Additionally, Jonathan Ricketts comes in to replace Tomas Retondale, and Wilmer Cabrera, the coach's son, in for Ian Cerro.
There you see Cerro coming off.
A little more offensive attack here for Rio Grande Valley. 2 forwards in Cabrera and Lopez will enter. The defender, Jonathan Ricketts.
Number 2, Jonathan Ricketts.
Ricketts out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Lopez is from Cuba. Cabrera from Colombia. And Cabrera, who is got a hot foot as of late, doesn't he?
Yeah, scored in each of their last 2 matches for Rio Grande Valley. Currently has the team lead with 3 goals. Like Robert Coronado, a little shaken up.
Number 9, Lopez.
Coronado out of La Habra, California, 26-year-old defender. One of the top players in terms of his passing accuracy at 84%. It's a clip from behind there by Chapman. Teams are nearly even in fouls at 8 on the Colorado Springs, 7 on the Toros. Switchbacks with possession right now. They have controlled the action since the opening kickoff as Skundrich, nice little through ball there for Beckford. Beckford with time. Trying to move, create a shot, gets a shot off to far post, just misses. Kind of a combination shot and cross there. And Williams might have been in position for it. I don't think he saw the ball coming through.
See, Tyler Derrick races out to talk to the official. They're going to rule this a corner kick. Derrick says, but it wasn't touched. We'll take a look right here. Beckford does a nice job of peeling this back. He's trying to send it across. And I think Tyler Derrick has an argument there. I don't think that was touched. Yeah. Beckford weaves that through the defense.
Only thing I could see is maybe possibly the ankle of the defender in front of him. Ball went through the wicket on him. But yeah, you don't see the ball's angle change at all. It's Chapman here sends the corner kick in, headed out by Pimentel. And we've got a foul in the box. This is going to be a free kick here for Rio Grande Valley. Maybe poetic justice there after Derrick's argument that led to the corner kick. Going to see a substitution for the Switchbacks here in a moment. There's a through ball. Ooh, intended for Beckford, and a nice sliding intercept there by Benitez. And Beckford would have moved in alone against Derrick had that gone through. So the Toros making a trio of subs just a moment ago. Trying to bolster the offense a bit. Switchbacks getting ready to make their, what would be their first sub. Pimentel with it here. Trying to force Williams to converge on him to open up a passing lane a little bit. Now here's Davila with space to work with. Had Chapman closing in. Gets it over to the right side, goes into the box a little bit too high as it looked like it was intended for Lopez. The feed from Pinzon. Lopez even waved over to Pinzon, like saying, nice try there. Lopez seems to be one of those players who just has kind of a nose for being able to set up opportunities. He had 7 goals last year. In fact, he and Pinzon combined for 14 goals as they shared the goal-scoring lead. The back heel, a little give and go intended for Tejada, was broken up there by Ricketts, and they're going to call Ricketts for the foul here. Tejada, who's from Panama. And now we see top goal scorer for the Switchbacks is going to call it a night.
He replaced by the former Toro, Jonas Fjeldberg. Come in to make an appearance here for Colorado Springs. No surprise, Romario Williams has been roughed up quite a bit out there. It seems like every time he touched the ball, there was a defender really putting a pretty heavy hand on him. The Williams will get a rest, and the youthful Fjeldberg comes in now to log some more minutes here at HEB Park.
That is at the 62-minute mark of the match.
Yeah, Fjeldberg, who's left the Toros for Indy 11, now finds himself with Colorado Springs. So he's played in 3 different time zones. He's played in the Eastern time zone, Central time zone where we are. Of course, Colorado in the mountain. Spimentel. Long pass intended for Lopez, broken up by Skundrich. But the header goes right down to Cabrera. Here's Cabrera down the middle. Poked away from him, back to Herrera. Herrera can't pick it up. Cabrera knew that and converged on him. Herrera had to quickly get rid of it there. Benitez sends it into the box. Chested too hard there by Lopez. And the Switchbacks end up with possession. Here's Davila. Going to slide it to the left side. Lopez there in the box. He's going to shoot and scores! The Toros are on the board. Frank Lopez with the goal. And in the 64th minute, the Toros have the lead.
That is a spectacular score and a very, very crafty job by Frank Lopez. Recently substituted in here in the second half, and he didn't get a lot of that, but he got enough to work it around the defender. Take a look at this right here, just picking the defense apart, and somehow gets enough of a bend on that to work it around the defender and the outstretched arms of Christian Herrera. Rio Grande Valley finds himself up 1-0.
Yeah, Lopez with his first goal of the year. We had just mentioned he had 7 last year. Was battling injuries this year. And picks up the goal. And I love the move by Taylor Davila to set that up. He turned his whole body to the right and then quickly switched back to the left to slip it to Lopez, giving him just a little sliver of an opportunity there, which he took full advantage of.
Remember now, Toros have yet to be defeated on the year when they score first. They have scored first in 5 matches. They are 2-0-3, 2 wins, 3 draws when scoring first. Toros also looking for their first win of 2023 from HEB Park. And now if they can preserve this lead for 25 or so more minutes, 3 points are headed to the way of the Rio Grande Valley Toros.
I didn't get a chance to mention this before, but Christian Herrera had started the game with a shutout streak of 258 minutes, went all the way up to 321 before Lopez's goal ended that shutout minute streak just a moment ago. Had 2 straight shutouts coming in. Herrera did. Now finds himself, his team trailing 1-0. Still a lot of time left, especially against this high-flying Colorado Springs team. Now Lopez is shaken up. Play continues. Chipped into the box by Chapman. Opportunity from outside the box is blocked in front by Acque. That was Segrist with the shot. This is going to be a corner kick now. Lopez, meanwhile, is still shaken up. Or excuse me, that's Benitez. Diego Benitez.
They will beckon the trainer out to take a look. Really hard sliding tackle there by Benitez to go one-on-one with the opponent. Ends up having his shin guard pulled out of his sock from all that contact. You saw the shin guard go flying. He's not happy about it.
And he'll come off the pitch for just a moment. See, take another look at it.
So the argument he's making here is that Chapman kind of drags a leg after the contact and kind of pulls something across him there.
Chapman's corner kick headed toward the goal. Derek comes out. A collision there in the box as the ball goes harmlessly away. But Derek now may be shaken up. A little bit of words exchanged there. We'll see on the replay that Springs attacker colliding with Tyler Derek as Derek came out to punch that ball clear.
And Derek does what he has to do in that situation as the keeper. You've got to come out and be very physical here on a high-flying attack toward the box. Now they're going to beckon the trainer out to take a look at Tyler Derek. They give us time to look at the replay here. You see that ball is placed really nicely. And as Derek comes down, it looks like he kind of catches an elbow to the ribs and then ends up being pulled down a little bit. He's kind of carried to the ground after that punch. So Matthew Mahoney, the captain and the defender, mixed up there with Tyler Derek in the process. That can go a couple of ways there. It can knock the wind out of you. And that is not a fun feeling to not be able to kind of grab your breath after having the wind pushed from out of your lungs. You also want to take a look at just what's going on with his rib cage. So you can get a pretty good bruise right there on your ribs that is not comfortable, although it does heal quite quickly. Derek back to his feet relatively quickly. A little fist bump there with Mahoney. No harm, no foul.
Like professional boxers when somebody has a low punch or something like that. Start it up again with the fist bump. Darce clears here off the throw in by the Switchbacks. Lopez trying to gain control now. If he can turn on that speed, trying to get past Fjellberg. As Lopez dueling with the ex-Toro Fjellberg. Ball goes out, and it's going to be a goal kick. Lopez kept looking for help down the middle, but nothing materialized. And eventually ran out of real estate.
Foot race with his old teammate. They know each other pretty well there. Know what each other are capable of, and Fjellberg does a nice job of just playing step for step there with Frank Lopez and does not give him room to operate.
The Switchbacks on the move, looking for the equalizer. Just over 20 minutes left here at HEB Park. For the Toros, it could be their first home win of the season. I think we've got another water break that's brewing. In just a moment, Skundrich with it. Back to Devin Williams. And here's through ball intended for Echeverria. Pimentel intercepts and kicks it clear. There's a throw and into the box. Tejada with it. Shot blocked in front by Akwe. And now it's going to be another corner kick here for Colorado Springs.
May get a substitution before that can happen.
Corner kick, Switchbacks.
But they're going to wave off the substitution. There's one pending right now for Colorado Springs.
Is Chapman going to take this corner? This will be the 7th for Colorado Springs. Headed out by Nadarce. And Switchbacks running onto it. That's Segrist with it. Sends it back into the box. Derek coming out for this one. In traffic is able to hold on to it. They may be shaken up once more.
No one can say Tyler Derek has not sacrificed some of that 6'2" frame on the evening.
Yeah, Derek, a physical player, not afraid to come out into traffic when needed. Long kick there. Opportunity for the Toros if they can settle the ball. Ends up at the foot of Beckford, but no, there's going to be a foul called in our first booking of the match.
Going to go on Oscar Agren.
That's the Swede. His third booking of the year.
Substitution now also for Colorado Springs. Tyreek McGee come in. He'll replace Devin Williams.
Substitution for the Switchbacks, now checking in number 7.
Yeah, McGee's out of Kingston, Jamaica. We have a couple of Jamaicans on this Colorado Springs club, just 23 years old, midfielder.
Frank Lopez, player taken down for Rio Grande Valley. See, that card is because he's bumped from behind. The Agren comes in. He's not really a part of that play. It's Lopez tied up there pretty tightly with Chapman. So Agren comes in from behind and just bumps him, and that's where he draws the card.
2 subs used up by Colorado Springs now. Toros have used 3. On a hot night here in Edinburgh. Shot by Cabrera is wide. Just the second shot of the match here for the Toros. Had a quiet night offensively, despite the goal. Goal by Lopez, kind of coming against the run of play. Throw in here by Ricketts. Second year with the Toros. Back to Akwe. Akwe's pass intercepted. Chance here for the Switchbacks. Gilberg trying to gain control as it kicked away by Ricketts. We still haven't seen the hydration break. We're expecting one at about the 70-minute mark. Chapman will chip it. Chasing after it is Beckford. And cleared away by Nadarse. And now I think we have a player shaken up on the far side of the pitch.
Switch back down. Looks like that is Jay Chapman.
Chapman, their corner kick specialist. And now they're going to take the water break.
I think there's a good time to take that water break. Chapman, like he may be cramping just a little bit there. Said game time temperature at the start of this one was 101. We had a high of 107 here in Edinburgh on the day. Current temperature still a balmy 93.
Give a time for a score update as well.
2 more goals for Memphis. They now are in the 75th minute, up 4-0 over Tulsa. Birmingham holding on to a 1-0 lead over now that game in the 72nd minute. You know what's going on here? Rio Grande Valley up 1-0 over the Switchbacks. And in the 31st minute, New Mexico and Phoenix are still knotted at 0-0.
Far along are they? In the 32 minutes complete. And I think Phoenix just scored.
Oh, just that quick?
Yep. Just a miracle of the internet, the instant updates like there. 1-0 Phoenix now. And there are going to be a couple more substitutions here by Colorado Springs.
It's like coming in is going to be Aaron Wheeler. He's going to replace Malik Foster. Correction, coming in is Malik Foster. So in will be Wheeler and Foster. Going out are going to be Jay Chapman and Deshaun Beckford. The substitutions coming in the 76th minute.
So 2 more subs there by the Switchbacks. That leaves them with 1. You see a look at Wheeler there, who's out of Baltimore. 35 years old, forward. Pretty tall, 6'5", 174 pounds. The lanky forward there for Colorado Springs. And then Malik Foster, he had one of their 2 goals last week. He's also from Jamaica. 2 goals, 2 assists on the year. So both teams have kind of substituted to bolster the offense here in the second half. It paid off so far for the Toros as Lopez, a substitute, was able to score their goal. We'll see if the Switchbacks are able to get the equalizer as we're now in the last 15 minutes. Toros have not exactly tightened the defensive screws when it comes to the last 15 minutes. They've given up 15 goals in the second half this year. More than half, 8 of them, have come in the final 15. Pass intended for Tejada and intercepted by the Toros. And here they come on the move. That pass was ended up behind Cabrera, who's trying to salvage it. Was able to secure a free kick out of it, however.
Salvage he does. One-on-one battle right here, and just look at the pace of play. Cabrera gets there first, gets his foot down. He's got Steven Echevarria just standing over him. He does a nice job of keeping his foot between the ball and Echevarria, and because of that, ends up drawing enough to get the foul and the restart.
Darce with pressure coming from Wheeler, forced to pass it back to his keeper. Now it's Akwe with the ball. Gets it ahead to Davila. Here go the Toros on the attack. Slips through to Pinzon. Opportunity here. He shoots in too high and goes over the crossbar. The Pinzon with an open look that time after the feed from Davila.
See immediately, Christian Herrera wants to get back in the attacking position, clapping his hands, wanting a ball. He wants to get this restarted quickly. His team down 1-0.
Davila assisting on the goal scored by Frank Lopez back in the 64th minute. 12 minutes and change remaining. Toros holding on to a 1-0 lead here at HEB Park. Yelberg trying to create some space. Moves ahead of Akwe. Able to center the ball. Knocked away by Nodarse. Boy, there were a couple of Switchback players in position for that one.
Switchback's doing a fantastic job of feeding that ball into the box and just trying to find a lively foot. Give some credit. Rick Nodarse comes in and puts a nice healthy boot on that to clear it away. Toros have been dancing on a razor's edge defensively at several points on the evening. No harm, no foul thus far.
This goes to the far post. Nobody there. It was settled by Benitez, cleared out by Nodarse. Switchback still with possession here. An opportunity to create something. The Skundrich will send it into the box. Over Tejada's head. Pimentel with the header. Try to get it to the foot of Foster, and it goes back to Skundrich. He'll send it into the box. Derek coming out and is able to spear that one right in front of the 6'5" forward, Aaron Wheeler. Derek, who's not exactly a shorty. He's 6'3". And with that advantage, being able to extend his arms, able to get that ball and prevent any kind of scoring opportunity. All popped up in the air. Cabrera trying to gain control. At a whistle stoppage here. I think this will be a free kick for Rio Grande Valley.
Looks like Echevarria once again a little too physical. See right there, he's got a handful of the back of Wilmer Andres Cabrera. You see Cabrera throw his hands out. Can't really break away when I've got an anchor tied to me.
Yeah, first I thought Cabrera was upset at the stoppage. Now I realize he was just trying to point out that I need a call there.
Upset at the stoppage as in he was being stopped by being held.
Yeah, maybe. Well, Cabrera, who leads the team with 3 goals. It's going to be Davila, however. And Davila, it's a little too much smoke on it. This goes over the wall and over the bar. Shots on target light in this game. Just 1 per each team. The one by the Toros went all the way through, and they've got the 1-0 lead. 81st minute now. We see McGee. Just came on as a sub. Now goes to Skundrich. He'll send it into the box over Wheeler's head, and Akwe is there to clear that one. We had a foul called right before that, as you saw Pimentel was knocked to the ground. And it'll be a Toros free kick on the top of their box.
Thursday, October the 5th. Get your tickets now at BurtOgdenArena.com or visit the Burt Ogden Arena
I've got to give some credit to Pimentel tonight. Has a reputation as being a bit of too rambunctious sometimes when he gets physical. Has picked up yellow cards and bookings and even send-offs in the past. But I'm not sure if he's even been called for a foul conceded tonight.
Done a fantastic job of being that trusted center back for Rio Grande Valley. Coach Cabrera talked about it several times in the early going here when Pimentel was picking up bookings, saying he's a really experienced defender. You should know where the line is and how to stay within the line. And what we're seeing from Eric Pimentel here, has done a spectacular job playing defense, but playing it within the rules of the game. Because of that, has his team in a great spot to pick up a victory here, up 1-0, under 10 minutes left in regulation.
He had a hard shot by Foster that struck Benitez. Benitez shaken up. Also, Tejada had been shaken up, was slow to get up at midfield. Tejada is now up. We'll take it to the replay, see what happened to Benitez.
Caught that off the inside of his leg, and then as he comes back to try to pursue, cramped up just a little bit.
Yeah, we didn't see the trainer out on the pitch at all in the first half, but several times here in this second half, the heat may be beginning to take some toll.
Substitution coming in now for Rio Grande Valley in a moment. Eric Kinsner going to make his appearance on the day. He will replace Gabriel Benitez, taking a couple pretty tough shots here in the second half. He'll get some rest.
Yeah, Kinsner did not get to play last week against New Mexico United. And this will be his 10th appearance this season for the Toros. He's out of Seattle. In fact, he grew up in the Seattle Sounders Academy. He's 20 years old. Quick passing here. Here's McGee, forced to retreat. Finds Fjellberg, and now goes all the way back to the center back. Echeverria with it here. And his pass too far for McGee. And now the Toros have possession. Fjellberg tried a sliding tackle, couldn't get to it. Now here's Lopez, the goal scorer. Lots of room to work with. Long pass to foot of Cabrera. Moves, tries to shoot. Blocked. Goes back to him. Another shot from distance is blocked in front. Toros are calling for a handball. The play will continue. And the Toros stymied right on the goal line. Still a chance here for the Toros as they regain possession. Here's Davila with it. Toros looking for some insurance on this one.
Like Rio Grande Valley had 2, perhaps even 3 shots on target in that last possession. Those switchbacks were very crafty, keeping bodies in front, preventing the Toros from putting anything in.
There's a long cross intended for Lopez, who's able to chase that one down. Trying to move in against Segrist, able to get around him and shoots. It's blocked in front by Herrera, and it'll go out for a corner kick. Wasn't really a shot as so much as I think he was trying to get it to Pinzon, who was open on the doorstep. But Herrera, who's already a big guy, 6'7", 209, able to make himself even bigger to block that opportunity.
Defender Oscar Agren does a nice job of laying his body out there. Sliding tackle to protect the low side as Herrera goes high.
See that replay again. Yeah, you can see Agren there was also part of that first corner of the game, and it's a header right on net, but a save there for Herrera. First corner for the Toros. They're able to generate a shot, but Herrera was there. So still a 1-goal difference. Under 5 minutes to play, with stoppage time also beckoning. Wheeler able to turn, trying to get it to Fjellberg. It'll go all the way through to Derek. Just under 4 minutes remaining here at HEB Park. Derek, who has 2 clean sheets on the season, looking for a third. There's a long shot by Kinsner. Herrera forced to save that one. I think he had a little bit of a wind advantage at his back for that one. Switchbacks on the attack. McGee goes through the foot of Wheeler and trickles to Derek in goal. Derek again going to force Switchbacks players to converge on him before he picks it up. Good tactic late in games when you're trying to hold on to a lead. Switchbacks in danger of dropping their 5th straight on the road if they are not able to find that equalizer. Toros, meanwhile, looking for their first home win. They have 5 draws at home with 3 losses. Here's Fjellberg. Former Toro will pass it off to the middle. And now it's at the foot of Foster. Good tackle there by Cabrera. 22-year-old Colombian able to anticipate that one. And then able to draw the foul on Foster, who was trying to regain possession. Foster will be carded for the 4th time this season.
That's at the 87-minute mark. Yellow card for number 99, Foster.
Cabrera with a nice takeaway, and does a nice job also of playing into the body of Foster, forcing the contact. And Foster over pursues just a little bit there. Make no mistake, though, Cabrera generated that contact. He's the one that made the decision to pull in, and Foster just kind of left trying to keep up at a full sprint. Because of that, creates a lot of contact with Cabrera and draws the card.
A sign of good coaching there. You can tell he's a coach's son. Skundrich heads it back to Herrera, and Colorado Springs will begin a new attack. They're running out of time. We're in the 89th minute. Should be a hefty amount of stoppage time. They're still looking for that equalizer. Toros getting ready to make their what would be their last sub. Skundrich into the box. Derek coming out. He's blocked. Ball is loose. Kicked out by Foster. Oh, excuse me, Davila. Davila again kicks that all the way up to midfield. But the Toros on a focused on defense right now. Tejada, his return pass intended for Fjellberg, intercepted by Davila. And a chance here for the Toros. This is onside to Cabrera. Over to the right side, of an open look there, and a shot is too high by Lopez. And Lopez, I think, feels he could have done better with that.
Another substitution for Rio Grande Valley coming out will be Christian Pinzon. He'll be replaced by Juan Galindrez, 28-year-old Colombian forward.
See that shot again there by Lopez after the nice setup by Cabrera. Galindrez made his first appearance last week. Came on as a second-half substitute against New Mexico United. Doing that again here in the just before stoppage time. He, like his teammate Cabrera, also from Colombia. There we see Pinzon has come off on the opposite side of the pitch, and we got a lot of time going to be added here.
7 minutes of stoppage time will be added on to this one as we have now entered the 91st minute. Plenty of time still left for Colorado Springs, but they have to be earnest right now. Find themselves down 1-0.
We've seen some late game heroics in each of the last 2 Toros matches, both ending in draws. Find out what happens here in the next 7 minutes. Colorado Springs came in with a 2-game win streak, but also a 4-match losing streak as far as being on the road. Fjellberg trying to find some space. Goes through Echeverria, now to McGee. He, the Jamaican, looking to maybe shoot from distance. Didn't really have any openings in his pass intended for Wheeler. It's kicked away, and Wheeler commits the foul, trying to gain it back.
It's going to be Eric Pimentel who ends up having his feet taken out from under him. See Wheeler immediately up, wagging his finger, saying, no, no, no. Official disagrees.
So, yeah, Pimentel a little bit slow to get up. Done a good job tonight at the center back spot for the Toros, who have faced a ton of shots, 8 shots by Colorado Springs, but only 1 on target. That's a credit to the defense. Again, taken down by Colorado Springs. Here's Wheeler. And Wheeler fouled at midfield, this time by Benitez, and Benitez will go in the books. The 3rd minute of stoppage now. And the Switchbacks will bring their keeper, Hedera, all the way up to midfield to take this free kick. So they can put 10 players in front of the ball. Goes to Echeverria. And Herrera still well out of his goal. Still closer to the half line as the ball passed inside, and Wheeler couldn't quite get the reconnect. The ball went off the his foot and then off another foot, bounced out. Lopez able to get turned and sends this one into the middle. Chance here for Galindres. Galindres just came on, fighting his way into the area, turns, shot blocked in front. Now here's Lopez with a chance, kicked away from him. And Colorado Springs able to dodge a bullet there. One from Lopez and one from Galindres. A lot of tired bodies out there, and sometimes when you get a sub on late, like Galindres coming on, can really get an advantage on those open field attacks. You see a couple of players, Ricketts shaken up, and Tejada.
Fans, mark your calendars to come back and join us at HEB Park on Saturday, July the 8th.
You see that Tejada steps on that plant foot of Ricketts. Ricketts trying to get possession here. He beats him to the ball. Tejada steps on that foot. Both go sliding.
Yeah, Ricketts came down kind of awkwardly. Lucky he didn't twist an ankle or something. RCT Tejada out of Panama. In the 5th minute of stoppage now. Here's Lopez trying to win the ball. Kicked away from him by Ogren. Switchbacks have only a couple of opportunities left as the Toros send this one deep. And Herrera now forced to come out of his goal. Reinforce the attack just a bit. Ogren will bring it up. Finds McGee. Toros with everybody on defense now. Played to Skundrich. Skundrich able to move inside of Cabrera, pop it up into the box. Headed by the Toros. And then headed again by Rio Grande Valley. Down to the last 2 minutes to play. Echeverria plays it back to Ogren. Now McGee trying to force the action, sends it through, intended for Foster. Tried to center the ball and knocked out of play there by the Toros. That was Nodarse. Gave up what will be now the 9th corner of the game for Colorado Springs.
Time keeps on ticking for the Switchbacks. They've got to get in position and get this corner off.
McGee sends it in. It's headed out there by Davila. Now Fjellberg trying to create a shot. Sends it over to the left side. The left wing there, that's Segrist, headed up in the air by Akwe. Derek trying to get onto it, unable to get it in the crowd. McGee chips it back in, intended for Tejada. He goes down, play continues. Foster going after it. He'll send it through the box, and Akwe there to head it away. Now it goes out of play, and both Fjellberg was right there on the doorstep. And Akwe, racing back, running backwards, is still able to get his head on this ball.
There's some exhausted players out there on the pitch. Akwe earned that the tough way. Tyler Derrick on his knees for a moment. Frank Nodarce on his knees for a moment. Those defenders, again, dancing on a razor's edge, and the Toros come away unscathed.
That was a superb play by Akwe. He doesn't get that. Fjellberg buries it. Against his old club, no less. Just seconds remaining here. 1-0. Toros trying to hold on. It would be their first win of the year. This ball slipped through. This is onside for Lopez. Gets around Herrera, but Herrera able to stifle him. Comes down with the ball. I think they were going to say he was fouled, a free kick there, and a yellow card issued. Yellow card was on Galindres.
And I believe moments after that, we'll get a yellow on Frank Lopez as well. He comes out and kind of kicks that ball away from Herrera.
Here's Skundrich. Last attack here. It's kicked away by Benitez, and that's going to do it. It's over, and the Toros have won their first home match of the year and stay unbeaten for their third straight week. They win it 1-0 here over Colorado Springs, a hard-fought, well-earned victory for Rio Grande Valley against a very game Switchbacks team. We're going to have a look at some highlights and stuff when we come back, but first, who's our man of the match?
Give it to Frank Lopez. You see him there, second half substitution, but he gave it his all. Spectacular strike. Moments after checking in, Lopez bends that around the defenders. Didn't get all of it, but got enough. That put the Toros up 1-0, and that was all it took. 3 points. Rio Grande Valley on the back. Frank Lopez.
All right, let's take a break. Look at some more highlights in just a moment. You're watching USL Championship Soccer on ESPN+.
At HEB, we're inspired by Mexico. The colors, the flavors, and aromas. And we want to share them with you. So we created the HEB Mi Tienda family of products with authentic Mexican flavors. From savory marinated meats, frijoles and queso, to tamales, soft drinks, and more. HEB Mi Tienda brings you the traditional flavors you love. One more reason here, everything's better.
Why choose Lone Star National Bank for your business? Because no other bank does more to support local businesses. In fact, we are the #1 lender in the Valley to small businesses. We put money to work here in our community.
That helps our local businesses grow.
Creating more jobs.
And more opportunities for all of us.
Working together.
Together.
We do what the little banks can't and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
When it comes to our familia, we all have our own flavor and expression. At Tequila de Corralejo, we believe sharing our individuality is what makes gathering together so fun. Here's to those who stand tall and share their passion.
Espinos Tires on FAR 83 has been serving the Valley for over 30 years. We offer a wide assortment of tires, wheels, and auto parts. Let us build your dream vehicle with only $49 down. No credit required.
Did you know when you bank with Lone Star National Bank, you're investing in your community? By creating jobs that stimulate our local economy, creating success that we share with our community. In fact, Lone Star National Bank donates more money and more volunteers to more causes than all other area banks combined. We do what the little banks can't, and the big banks won't. Lone Star National Bank, the Valley's bank.
The Toros, a 1-0 winner over Colorado Springs tonight at HEB Park. Brian, take us through the highlights.
Plenty of opportunities in the first and second half. It was all Colorado Springs early. You see a nice strike here from Chapman, just a little bit high. Continuing the attack, here comes Colorado Springs. Beckford puts a pretty good strike there, but it floats high. Christian Pinzon had the one good look for Rio Grande Valley in the first half. That one carries just a little bit high. No challenge there from Christian Herrera. Segrist puts a pretty good strike there, but Frank Nodarce slides in, sends that one away. Into second half action we go here. Colorado Springs has Beckford in a good position early. No one to connect with across the face of the net, though. Here is the goal. Frank Lopez bending but not breaking. Huge goal here, puts Rio Grande Valley up 1-0, and from there, it was attack time. Colorado Springs, couple good opportunities after that Lopez goal, but none as quality as Lopez's strike there. Lopez pushes this one forward, looking for Wilmer Andres Cabrera. A couple of point-blank spots there, including a follow-up off the foot of Christian Pinzon, but the defense for Colorado Springs was strong. Headed there by Akwe, just shy of getting past Christian Herrera. All that activity, what ultimately matters though, the Frank Lopez goal is the difference. Rio Grande Valley picks up the 1-0 victory.
All right, Toros end up out shooting Colorado Springs 11-8, including 4-1 on target. 9 corner kicks for Colorado Springs to just 1 for Rio Grande Valley. 15 fouls on the visitors, including 2 bookings. 10 fouls on the Toros with 2 bookings as well. The shutout streak for Christian Herrera ended at 321 minutes. Pretty impressive. He does come out as on the downside of a 1-0 difference here tonight. And Frank Lopez, as you mentioned, his first goal of the year. Tyler Davila picking up the assist, his 3rd assist this season. And the Toros win it 1-0. Next game, Colorado Springs will be at New Mexico United on Saturday the 24th. The Toros will wait a week, and on Wednesday, June 28th, they'll go to Oakland to take on the Oakland Roots. Their next home game will be July 8th against Orange County. So the Toros moving up to 16 points, temporarily ahead of New Mexico United by 1 point right now. New Mexico United trailing 1-0 at the half against Orange County. If that holds, the Toros move into 9th spot alone. Springs, meanwhile, lost their 5th straight on the road, has their 2-game overall win streak snapped. They are 7-8-1, still on 22 points, still in the playoff race, but will have to rebound next week at Isotopes Park in New Mexico. Well, that'll do it for Brian Smith. I'm Mark May, the rest of our USL Championship broadcast crew. 1-0 Rio Grande Valley on top tonight at HEB Park. Good night.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.